Hello everybody, this is Lucas Crane from the Left Gate, and today we'll be checking out the Jackson Pro Series Josh Smith SL7 EverTune. I've had this guitar for about 4 months now, and I've played this guitar more than enough to give my opinion about it. But before we begin, I'll have a demo of this guitar, a full mix demo, kinda. All the rhythm tones using the bridge pickup are going through Neural DSP Archetype Nolly X, and all the split coil stuff is going through Archetype Tim Henson X. So here's the demo. So now that you have heard the guitar in a full demo mix, let's go through the specs of this guitar real quick. So we have first a neck through construction. The body or the body wings are made of alder, and as you probably saw already, the neck is roasted maple. Also, here is the signature of Josh Smith from North Lane. Also, you saw this guitar has Jackson locking tuners and a real cool, like normal Strat headstock, which is possible because, of course, Jackson is owned by Fender. Now, many people have said that the neck profile is too thick. Many people have said that the neck profile is too thin. Jackson doesn't list the neck thickness anywhere. So let's measure it right here, right now. Of course, I have strings on, so it's not a perfect reading, but I can tell what I'm seeing with my, it's called caliber in English or whatever this is. It's työntömitta in my language. So at the first fret, this says 22. Now keep in mind that I have strings on, my action is quite high, so I assume at the first fret this is 20 millimeters of thickness. And on the 12th fret it shows approximately 24 millimeters. So I believe at first fret it's 20 millimeters, and at the 12th fret is 22. And also I assume I'm not really good with neck profiles. I know that Jackson over there has a Jackson Speed D profile, and comparing this to my Thin U ESP 6-string or the Ibanez RGD with a Wizard 2.7, I believe, as the neck profile, I can confidently say that this is just slightly less flat neck profile than the Ibanez. The Ibanez is a little bit flatter, but this is still quite flat, quite thin, very comfortable neck profile, at least with me. I have slightly bigger hands than in an average person, probably, but feels really good. And also the radius is 12 to 16 compound radius, which I believe is really popular with Jackson guitars, and I really like it. Even though the body is a gloss finish, the neck is really nice satin finish. The fingerboard is ebony, and the scale length is 27 inches, which is perfect for a 7-string. And also, probably the reason why this guitar is so popular are these two specs. right here. So, of course, the EverTune bridge and the bare knuckle impulse pickups that are on this guitar. Also, it's the humbucker and single coil set, so it's not double humbucker, because that's what Josh himself prefers. Also, a normal Strat, you know, they have the 3 knobs there. This has 2 volume knobs and they are placed away further back, so you don't hit your hand when you play. And yeah, the guitar comes with these Jackson branded strap locks. I'm gonna get to them a little bit later. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, because if I'm checking my analytics, only 2.4% of you who are watching these videos have subscribed. So if you like this content, press subscribe. Now, also, one fairly nice thing about these pickups is that it has a 3-way switch, which is when it's all the way there, it's only the bridge. When it's all the way there, it's only the neck. But when you put it in the middle, it doesn't take the humbucker and the single coil, but it splits the humbucker, and if I remember correctly, it's the more to the bridge coil that gets together with the single coil in the neck, which gives you a really nice sound that you heard in the demo on the later part. Now for the EverTune. I guess everybody already knows at this point what EverTune is, and the main reason why I got this guitar and why I was not 100% satisfied with the Ibanez guitar I have there is the reason called pitch drift. Now, I had the Ibanez tuned down to drop F sharp with 11 to 74 strings, and when I played it like real hard, when I felt like I played hard and not like my usual play style, it almost went like only 20 cents to G. So it almost raised by a half step the pitch of the lowest string when I played it. And that's why I got the EverTune. Because you really don't want your strings to flip and flop all over the place. And also, for example, this guitar, Jackson TY27. I have this in drop A with a low string of 0.062 string, and it's tuned to drop A, but I almost have to tune it to drop G sharp, only with the lowest string, because it goes almost half step up when I play the lowest string. But that's why I got a guitar with an EverTune. Now, does the EverTune fix the problem? Not exactly. But when we think that with a guitar that is not equipped with an EverTune bridge, the drift was like 80 cents. And with an EverTune, it's around 15. Not 50, but 15. So that reduces the pitch drift so much that you really don't hear it. Now, I have this guitar tuned with this set, 10 to 48. This is also one of the negative parts about an EverTune guitar. So I have it strung up with these, because my usual strings, normally with my guitars I use the Burley Slinkies, which you can see are 11 to 52, 11, 14, 18, 30, 42, and 52. Now, I use the EverTune calculator, and the 42 on these for the A string, the high A string, not the 7th string, is a tad bit too tight for G sharp. So I got these. And next I checked the 48 compared to the 10 to 59 strings that this guitar came equipped with. And the 46 in D had more tension than the 48 in C sharp. So I was like, I don't want lower string tension, even though I have an EverTune. But the string tension would be too little, even for EverTune, for me to have it in a playable state that I could feel like it's playable. So now I kind of have to, for this tuning, I kind of have to like combine different sets. So from the silver pack, I take strings 1 through 5. Then I take a 52 from the Burley Slinky pack and I put a single 64 string. But also because the other Jackson right there is tuned to drop A without any drop D stuff, I put the 48 to that, so I don't have to throw away any strings. That's the only problem with an EverTune. You have to be really careful when you're changing tunings. It's basically like you have a Floyd Rose guitar when you're thinking about string gauges and tunings. Now, when I have done the setup for that guitar, not that, I have checked the tuning twice in the span of 1.5 months, and it's always like spot on. I don't have to change the tuning, which is done by this Allen key, not by the tuning pegs. Yeah, like that's a dream stuff. And if you're cautious about bending, you can bend. Didn't have any bends on the demo, but let's see if the mic can pick it up. I hope it got the bends, but if it didn't, you can bend on this guitar. You just have to know how to set it up, and it's not difficult. And people say that, yeah, I didn't like the EverTune. It was too complicated. It's because they wanted the benefits of EverTune, but they didn't want to put in the work to get to know how to use an EverTune. And it's not difficult. I learned it when I got the guitar. It was in B standard. I wanted to put it to drop A / with the drop D, and it was like probably 15 minutes. And I had never had an EverTune guitar in my hand before that. This almost became an EverTune video. But no. But right now I'm gonna put the guitar away because it weighs up. It's on my lap. I talked about the weight of the guitar, which is approximately 4 kilograms or around 8.8 pounds. Of course, the EverTune, it adds a weight, but that's a pretty heavy guitar compared to my Ibanez RGD71 ALMSB AM. This is probably like 3 kilograms. This feels like a feather when I compare it to the Josh Smith. But do I think the Jackson Josh Smith signature weighs too much? No. By the way, if you want to hear me talk about this guitar, I also have a video about this guitar. I forgot to mention that, like the Ibanez, this guitar comes with nickel frets and not stainless steel frets, which at the price point of around 1,700 or 1,700, as people like to call, it's quite an expensive guitar to not have stainless steel frets. And talking about the price, the guitar in Europe is around 1,700 euros. But for some reason, in the States and probably also in Canada, it's $2,700, which is way too much for the guitar. Now we get to the strap locks I was talking about. Now these are Jackson branded strap locks, which use quite the same principle as the Dunlop strap locks. I believe they are Dunlop. But when I used these ones, I figured or noticed that the upper horn, that the button on the upper horn started to get loose. And when you have a strap lock, it's supposed to give you a sense of trust in the guitar. So I lost my sense of trust with these ones. So I went out and installed some Schaller strap locks. I did this mod about a month ago. I have never looked back since, and the strap buttons, they don't wiggle or anything. They stay, and they are firmly on. Now I also have to remind that this guitar comes with a case. Now usually when a guitar at this price point is said to come with a case, it's usually a pretty cheap gig bag that really doesn't do any justice for the guitar. I don't know why, but this guitar comes with a real nice soft case, which still has like support, so the guitar goes in there really nicely. No complaints about that. That case is real nice. So after you have watched this video, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I will answer to every single one of them. And also remember to like and subscribe. And also check my band, The Left Gate. Subscribe to The Left Gate, go listen to us. Bye.